This video is brought to you by the Deck of Many and their Heckna playtest. Hello and welcome back to the Gallant Goblin. Today we have a mini and an activity for you. This is the first set in the Paint Night Kit series from WizKids. This is the Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures Manticore. The set includes not only the large Unpainted Manticore Mini, but also 12 bottles of Vallejo paints, 2 brushes, and a water pot. There's also a video guide to show you step by step how to paint this miniature using everything included in the set. This is intended to be an event that you can sign up for at your friendly local game store, so check in with them on how they're handling events right now. Because of the virus, many stores are offering online event options. You can find a list of participating stores and the link in the video description down below. Right now, the Paint Night event is open to stores in the US only, but WizKids is planning to expand it internationally in 2021. Many thanks to WizKids for sending us this preview set. And stay tuned to the end of this video to see the winner of our giveaway from the WizKids 20-pound box unboxing video. The winner receives a booster box of Pathfinder Battles City of Lost Omens pre-painted minis. First, here's our Unpainted Manticore Mini. Manticores are evil, beastly amalgamations. They have a humanoid head, a lion's body, a dragon's wings, and a dangerous spiked tail. They're relatively intelligent creatures who do speak common, so if you find yourself at the mercy of a pack of manticores, you can try to tempt it into sparing you through the offer of tribute or service. They're quite dangerous beasts, actually. They travel in packs and can stay out of range of melee combatants by hovering in the air. They can hurl spikes from their tails until they weaken a foe, and then swoop down and finish them off with their maws and claws. They're also often kept by other evildoers like orc and hobgoblin bands to serve as aerial support for their raiding parties. They have a CR of 3 and their stat block is in the basic rules. Now the paint kit here comes with 12 containers of Vallejo paint. They appear to each hold about an ounce of paint. Not all of them are actually used on the Manticore Mini, but it's a pretty useful collection of various skin tones, browns for fur and leathers, a pale yellow for general highlights, and 2 whites for bones, spines, and other features. There's also a general purpose wash that you can use to bring out the details of your figure. We'll talk about that in a sec. There are 2 brushes, one general purpose and one smaller one for details. There's a little water pot that you'll probably have to clean out regularly while painting, and the plastic insert can be used as a palette. There's a link provided to the painting tutorial video from Realm Smith, which will walk you through the painting process step by step. You can watch it for yourself right now at the link in the video description below. Now, when I'm painting a bunch of minis for my games, I don't worry about making them super detailed, as that would take me way too much time, plus my hands really aren't that steady enough for those fine details. I make them what we call table ready. I usually just put on a base coat, which basically means applying skin tone to skin, browns to clothing, whites to bones, metallic paint to weapons, etc. Just getting the color on there. Then I do a wash over the whole thing. A wash is usually a darker color like a brown that's been pretty heavily watered down. When you apply it to the mini, it seeps into all the crevices where the paint will eventually settle and dry. It gives your mini a sense of depth, as the innermost recesses will look darker. Then I'll do a dry brush of a lighter color over the raised areas of the mini, which has the opposite effect. A dry brush means getting the paint on your brush as dry as possible by rubbing the brush across a paper towel and then spreading that dry paint across the highest parts of your mini by doing a gentle brushing across the surface. Those high areas, like the cheekbones and the ripples in the clothing, will catch the lighter color and they'll look like they're catching the light, giving your mini even more contrast and depth. This little graphic from howtopaintminiatures.com summarizes the purpose of your base coat, wash, and dry brushing steps. And the video guide will of course walk you through it as well. The tutorial video will also guide you through a few nice extra touches that I don't usually do, such as adding more highlights and shading. This is my finished Manticore, and keep in mind I am not an artist. Yours will probably look as good if not better than mine. Now for most minis, you need to do a priming phase at the beginning to cover the entire mini with a special coat of paint to make it easier for your other paints to stick to it. But that's not necessary with the Nolzur's minis. They come pre-primed, so you can just get right to painting. It took me a few hours to paint this fellow, off and on, and I was listening to a podcast while I did it. I took it at a pretty leisurely pace. At the end, all you have to do is just glue it to the included base, and you're done. Here you can see my Manticore next to a similar model that released recently in the Arkhan the Cruel and the Dark Order set from WizKids. I think mine looks all right. I'll be happy to use it on the table, and let's be honest here. It feels really good to play with minis that you painted yourself. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it, and this is a great way to get started. The kit includes everything you need really, and the video does a good job of teaching you the basics. And when I finished the Manticore, I still had a ton of paint left over for my future minis. There were only 3 minor improvements that I could think of to improve future sets. I'd like to see a brush suitable for dry brushing included in the set. While you can certainly use a general purpose brush, I prefer having a dedicated dry brush that has more surface area. I usually use a cosmetic makeup brush for my dry brushing. You can pick those up almost anywhere and for pretty cheap. Secondly, I'd like to see the video include a few details about properly cleaning and storing your brushes, especially since this set is aimed at new painters who may not know those steps. For cleaning, you can get a dedicated soap like the Master's Brush Cleaner, or just use warm water and very gentle soap. For storage, I like to keep the little plastic tubes that come with the brushes and just put them back on when I'm done so I can store the brushes bristles down. If you store them bristles up, any excess water that's in the bristles will come down your brush and get into the wood and eventually warp it and destroy your brush. I've lost more than one brush to the wood rotting out. Finally, the last little improvement I'd like to see is that the instructional video is broken up into quite a few discrete steps. After they show you a step, they show you a still image of the mini and instructs you to pause the video until you've completed that step. But they don't always show you the entire mini during each step, so you may miss an area that you were supposed to apply the paint to just because they didn't happen to show that part during that step. I'd like to see a full 360-degree look at the mini after each step. As it is, I just recommend always watching a couple of steps ahead of where you are in your painting progress to make sure you haven't missed anything. It's not a big deal, and it's not really going to mess anything up for you, but it would have helped me a couple of times, especially during the early base coating stages. But you know how we are here at the Gallant Goblin when it comes to giving you a good look at minis. All in all, it's a great set and a great way to get started on mini painting. We're going to be covering a lot of really cool unpainted minis here in the coming weeks, so this is a great time to flex those creative muscles. Now, this is not a kit that's just available to purchase at every single retailer out there. It was meant to be a product to bring people into your local gaming stores. With the pandemic, you're still going to have to go through your local game store to get a kit, but the way your neighborhood store is conducting their paint night might vary depending on any local restrictions in your neck of the woods. Check the link in the video description below to see what stores near you are participating. If you really want the unpainted Manticore Mini, but not necessarily the paint kit, it is available separately right here in the most recent Nolzur's line for about $9 and is expected to be on store shelves in the coming weeks. I'm not sure of the pricing of the paint night kit actually, and it may vary store to store, so again, contact them directly for that information. The next paint night kit is going to feature the Ogre zombie here in the schedule for September, though obviously that could change. This is a new sort of product for WizKids, so if you have any questions, leave me a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer, though your local store may have more information than I do. I do know that availability is limited, so reach out to that store sooner rather than later if you're interested. Now, the winner of our giveaway. We need like a drum roll sound effect. The winner is Win Zetterberg. Congratulations! Send us an email at thegallantgoblin@gmail.com to claim your prize. Many thanks to our sponsor for this video, the Deck of Many, and their Heckna playtest. Heckna is a campaign setting for 5e that features a new carnival setting called the Revelia, overseen by the titular Heckna, a ringleader who loves nothing more than to fright and delight carnival-goers. Everything you need to get acquainted with the Revelia is included in the playtest document, including stat blocks for new original creatures and magical items. Be sure to check it out for free today at Heckna.com. Thank you for watching today. If you enjoyed the video, please click the little thumbs up button down below as that helps other people find our channel. You can subscribe to see some of our other exciting content that we have coming down the pike. Join the discussion on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Please keep playing safe out there, have fun, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.